Hello and welcome to The Bridge, our shorter review format. Today we're going to be looking at Back of the Mind by H.E.R. Here we go. Damn. I was like, he's brought the production value up here, but no.
What?
God damn.
What? How dare you? Okay. Australia's worse off on the world stage by the fact this guy is on the Spotify charts, I tell you. It was going so well. I had such high hopes for you.
All right, Dennis, how did you feel about this album?
Overall, I thought it was really entertaining. There were a lot of diverse backing tracks throughout the album, which is good. Some were more jazzy backing tracks, some were more classic R&B, some were sort of even trappy backing tracks. So yeah, you got a lot of variety. I mean, similar to the last album that we did, Migos Culture 3, I said then that was the most trap that I've listened to in one sitting. This is probably the most R&B that I've listened to in one sitting. So I wouldn't say I'm the biggest R&B fan, but I was definitely entertained from beginning to end with this album.
Nice, cool. Hattie, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to share quite a few of the same thoughts. I mean, the album, I would say, probably overall is a mixed bag for me. I mean, like Dennis says, it definitely has those different genres. It has the kind of like more modern, dark R&B vibe on a lot of tracks, probably the majority of tracks, but then it also treads into like a more soulful approach. On tracks like Bloody Waters, Cheat Code, stuff like that. And I think her sounds better on the old school vibes, even though I like the newer R&B sound at times. I don't necessarily feel like it's her best, her putting her best foot forward, especially across an album as long as this. I mean, it's only slightly more justified than the Migos album, which was 19 tracks, but yeah, it could still have been trimmed a whole lot. Like I said, I definitely gravitated towards the more classic retro neo soul approach. Even just her voice, like she's more expressive on those tracks. She's showcasing her range on the more modern R&B trappy songs. She's almost like sedated at times, and there aren't many melodies that grab me on those songs. So it's a bit of a shame there were a lot of those on the album. But yeah, I like some of it.
A lot of songs just generally on the album, but not unpleasant, unlike Migos, which we did last week. So I heard a lot of Janelle Monáe, who I love, in here. I think the scissor kind of comparisons just slapping you in the face the whole time with it. But I don't hate that. They occupy the same sort of space. They both do it really well. I thought it was a really good pairing of style and skill. Yeah, I thought the vocal tone really matched what they were going for a lot of the time. So I really like that. I'm thinking of more of the Janelle side of stuff now, but I would have liked some more like powerful lead vocal led bangers. There's a lot of like relaxed R&B. There's a lot of grooves. There's a lot of cool stuff, but I would have loved more expressive, more kind of just belt in it as much as you can sort of moments in this album. Maybe it's not the kind of artist that she is, but she's definitely got the ability she showcases sometimes. I'd like to see that expanded.
Did you find that the inclusion of the features was weird on this album? Because I found she played almost to the features sound as opposed to them fitting in the album. I don't know if you guys got that sense, but there weren't many features that I enjoyed because of that. It didn't feel like there was much cohesion, but just want to see what you guys thought.
You thought what the typical sound of that feature, for example, Ty Dolla $ign, it sounded like a Ty Dolla $ign song rather than a H.E.R. song.
Kind of. I mean, even I'm just looking at the Corday, like the track with Corday, she was almost kind of semi-rapping, and then Little Baby, she was almost kind of doing his kind of thing.
I'd say like Ty was probably the least of those. I thought they gelled the best of all the features that they had. I don't know. I think probably there's an element of that, but that probably fed into the diversity of the album as well. Maybe it would have been like stale after 21 songs if she hadn't flexed over to the style of whoever was joining her on the track.
Yeah, I definitely felt that way. That, yeah, you didn't just get the same thing over and over again, sort of like, yeah, if you go back to Culture 3 that we did last time, where by the end of it, you're all trapped out in this. Yeah, you're not all sold out, you're not in a deep K-soul. I don't know how many more puns I can come up with.
All right, to save you from that, Dennis, give us your top 3 tracks from the album.
So I would say I really liked Bloody Waters. Yeah, that's the one. Like Hattie said, I love that sort of old soulful sound. Yeah, I loved how there was probably real instruments played on that track. So yeah, it's great to.
She plays guitar. She has like a signature Strat. So
oh, no way.
That's a big part of her sound.
Yeah,
which I didn't think she used enough, but on tracks like that, yeah, it was on full display. But
yeah, I would have loved live instrumentation. I prefer live instrumentation to production any day of the week. Bands like The Roots, for example, it's some unique thing like that. I always find really cool. What else? Lucky. Really liked Lucky, even though it's more of a produced track rather than a live instrumentation track, but still liked the flow in her voice throughout. She has an amazing voice in general. This is the first time that I've ever heard anything from her. So yeah, I guess I'm a bit skewed because I don't. It sounds like Hattie has come to this with expectations. I didn't know what to expect. For me, it was a pleasant surprise. And Slide, absolutely loved it. Not much I can say about that, to be honest, because I liked most songs, so I could put anything at the third spot. But yeah,
the people agree with you. It's 148 million, pushing 149 million plays right now. Yeah. Slide is, so you're in good company.
What number track was that?
The last track.
The last track.
Oh, with YG. Okay, yeah.
What about you, Hattie? What were your top three?
The one I shared with Dennis was, Bloody Waters, for same reasons. It sounded very Motown-y, almost like Marvin Gaye-ish. It was right up my street. And like I said, I think she's able to flex her vocals on a track like that. A track that sounds, timeless to me. The second one, bear with me. Second one, I would say, would be Process. Like the instrumental on that track just slaps, and she's got some unique, interesting vocal melodies that kind of stand out. And then third track, probably my favorite, the number 16, Don't. A lot of guitar presence on that track, has vibes of like D'Angelo, Prince almost. And yeah, it's just another one of those raw sounding songs, which I would gravitate towards.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that as well. I'll do mine in a slightly different order because I'll feed off from you. Hold On is one of mine, also for that Prince style guitar lead that's like 3/4 of the way through, or like to end of the second third.
Follows her melody, right? Her vocal melody.
Killed it. And yeah, massive D'Angelo vibes, massive Prince vibes all the way through. But especially, I could hear Purple Rain playing in my head while I was listening to that guitar tone. It was glorious. Talking about her guitar playing skills as well, Cheat Code, beautiful acoustic track, fantastic acoustic intro, giving strong like Lana Del Rey vibes. She's showing the breadth of her ability really with these different kind of influences pulling together on one album. It is a long album, but she's got some range in it, which is good. And then my last one, back of my mind, I love a bit of Ty Dolla. He kills pretty much everything that he touches, and I thought they gelled really well together. I had a similar kind of gripe with some of the features as you guys. For me, those two mixed together really, really well.
Yeah, he's the exception. I can't even remember he shows up so much, but I can't even remember the last time I was like, he did a weak feature. He always kills it.
Yeah. I feel like he's one of those people that's like, he just like lives in a lab somewhere, constantly working on stuff, but never puts anything out. And then like every now and then people go like pilgrimage to his mountain and he gives them a verse and he's like, okay, that's it, you're done, my child. Then he leaves them again. Okay, let's put it on our rating system. So let's go Dennis first. Where would you put this album?
I think this is a fire. This is definitely an album I'm going to come back to. Like I said, there's lots of tracks you can pick out and lots of gems that you can grow to love over time. I'll definitely come back to listen to Bloody Waters again. Might even learn some a bit on guitar. Just, the good part of having live instrumentation on a track.
High praise indeed. Hattie, what about you?
Yeah, this is difficult for me to score because, again, it's due to that long run time. With the long run time, bored of so many tracks, in all honesty. Again, the darker tracks where her vocal wasn't as prominent, it kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. So originally I was feeling a ribbon. It seems like that might be a hot take, but I think,
wow.
Hang on. But I think, when I was reviewing the track list and seeing how many tracks that I would want to come back to, it was about half of the track list. So, there's a good maybe
album.
Exactly. Yeah. So she needed a lot of fucking quality control and filtering, but there's a lot here, so I'm probably going to say pat on the back. I can't go any higher than that.
I was torn as well, but I was torn between Back Pat and Fire for a similar reason. I think there's a lot in Back Pat that this just outclasses. I think there's a lot in Fire that this doesn't quite touch, so I'm really kind of stuck in the middle of the two.
You're the decider.
I am. I don't like it this week. I usually like it, but I hate it at the moment.
Sorry, Dennis, but
All right, Dennis.
It's too long and there's not enough variation.
Dennis, make your case. Win me over.
There's variety, which I think has replayability. Just as some of the tracks you don't like now, you might like in 6 months' time.
I think I don't entirely disagree with you, but I feel you should have gone with a different thread. I think the range of this album, while it's there, is trapped within one genre. I would have liked to see her explore more. I'm going to go Back Pat for an overall Back Pat, but it's up there. Simply because of how talented she is and how much that comes across. It outclasses a lot of the other Back Pat albums.
I think that side of the music I wasn't so hot on. If you want that, you can get that in a better format in artists like you mentioned, SZA and The Weeknd. Dark, dreary side. With those artists, you get more memorable melodies and interesting approaches.
There's definitely
it's a complete different shift when she goes soulful and plays with the band. It sounds like a completely different artist to me.
So I think there's something forming. It's just maybe more of the chrysalis stage at the moment, kind of absorbing everything around, and then later to emerge as a unique artist. Cool. Thank you for joining us for our first episode of The Bridge. I hope you enjoyed it. We'd love to do some more shorter episodes like this, so let us know if you liked it by subscribing, liking, putting it down in the comments whether you liked it or hated it. Let us know what we could do better, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.